Hi, good day, viewers and listeners of CYD Media, Between Worlds, a real talk on mental health, wellness, and immigrant experience. Today, we are here again with another episode with one and only Khushi Bhardwaj, a psychologist from Delhi who has widespread experience in this field. Hi, Khushi, how are you?
Hi, sir. I'm good. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you very much for giving your time again. And it's nice to have you again on this stage so that our viewers and listeners can benefit from your wider experience and expertise. So, viewers, today we have a topic people pleasing and mental health because this is an important subject nowadays, which is happening in the world. So, let's start with Kushi. Kushi, what exactly is people pleasing and why do many people struggle with it?
Um, People pleasing is when, someone constantly puts other people needs, other people emotions or approval above their own, like often at the cost of their, own peace, boundaries or identity. So a lot of people think, pleasing is simply being nice to other people, but actually it often comes from the fear, like fear of rejection, it would be the fear of conflict or abandonment or just disappointing others. So many people learn this pattern very early in life. Like, maybe they were just praised only when they behave perfectly in their childhood, let's say, or when they stay quiet or adjusted or, took care of others emotionally. So over the time, they start just begin to believe that if I say no, I will lose love or I will lose this person. Or if I upset people, I'm a bad person. So people pleasing, I will say it's not a weakness. It is very often it's a kind of survival response that human beings give.
Okay. So, can people pleasing affect mental health and self esteem of a human being?
Um, yes. Deeply it affects the mental health and self-esteem. See, when someone constantly, ignore their own words just to keep other comfortable, they slowly disconnect from themselves. Like they stop asking, what do I feel or what do I want? And after a certain point, I will say like their self-worth becomes dependent on external validation. And this can lead to automatically, low self-esteem because the person starts feeling valuable only when they're useful or when they're available or approved by others.
Mhm.
Emotionally, I will say that it can, also create exhaustion, like a kind of resentment, anxiety, sometimes emotional suppression, and even depression. Because the
Mhm.
person is carrying, everyone else's emotions while abandoning their own. So I think it affects deeply.
Mhm. And especially in cultural and linguistic population, diverse communities, especially from Southeast Asian community, many people are taught to always
Yeah.
adjust for the and society. How can they balance cultural values and healthy personal boundaries?
This is, such an important conversation because in many multicultural communities, values like respect, sacrifice, family responsibility, and adjustment are deeply very important. And those values, I will say that they are very beautiful, but the problems start when adjustment becomes the self erasure in their life. See, healthy boundaries, I will say, according to my experience as well, do not mean you're rejecting your culture or becoming selfish. Boundaries simply mean like I can care for others without abandoning myself. So you can still love your family, you can, still respect your elders and value the community, while you can also protect your mental health, your rest, individuality, and emotional safety. And balance comes when people understand that boundaries are not disrespect, they are just emotional clarity. So I think we have, it's not like if we are maintaining that boundaries, we are kind of disrespecting anyone. It's like just because of ourselves, we are maintaining that. And it's very important for everyone.
Okay, and why do people from migrant communities often feel guilty for saying no to family or community expectations? Do they have a fear of rejection?
Mm, yeah, like, many migrant families have gone through survival, I will say, sacrifice, instability, mainly the financial struggles. So children often grow up, carrying some unspoken pressure to make their family proud, let's say, to stay obedient, or just not to create any conflict. So in many cases, saying no, it really feels emotionally equal to betrayal for some people. And there is also collective thinking in many cultures, like seasons are not seen as an individual, but it is connected to the family honor, image, or responsibility. So guilt becomes deeply conditioned there for most of the people. And even when, like someone wants rest or someone wants space or a different life path, they may feel that I'm hurting my family if I choose myself because my family values, my families are more important. And that emotional conflict can become very, very heavy psychologically.
Thanks for sharing this, Khushi. What impact can constant pressure others have on their mental health and identity of people in multicultural communities? You have just said a couple of things
Mm,
here, but I just want more from your side. Like, what constant pressures often have mental health issues and it can
um,
impact on anything?
I think one of the biggest impact is identity confusion. When people spend adapting to everyone expectations, they sometimes, lose connection with their authentic selves. Like they become who others need them to be. So internally, they may struggle with what we are talking about, the people pleasing. They are struggle with perfectionism, let's say any chronic guilt, emotional suppression as well, and difficulty in making independent decisions. And many also experience some emotional loneliness because they feel understood for their role, but not for who they truly are. And, over the time, constantly performing for acceptance can create a deep emotional exhaustion for many people. And there is a constant pressure on others. So it really affects the mental health of a human being as well.
And Kushi, like this subject, pleasing others and having impact on mental health and anxiety, it might be new to many people because it's always, if it's like discussion about mental health, always it's stress, anxiety, stigma. But pleasing others and disappointing yourself is a new. So, what message would you give to someone who feels afraid of disappointing others?
I would say this, you are not responsible for keeping everyone happy at the cost of your mental health. See, disappointing people sometimes is a part of human, being human. It's not to prove that you are selfish or unkind to them. Disappointing people, like, it's a kind of a journey of a human being. So the people, who truly about you, they may need time to adjust to your boundaries. But healthy relationship can survive honesty. And important thing, if saying no makes you feel guilty, it does not automatically mean that you are doing something wrong. Please keep this in your mind. Sometimes it simply means that you are learning a new pattern in your life. And choosing yourself occasionally is not selfish. It is very, very necessary for everyone for their mental health.
So, Kushi, like in last episode, you have given us great examples and some techniques and tips, like during stress, anxiety, and those are really helpful for people. So, if suppose someone is like suffering from pleasing others and disappointing himself or herself, and with like another like stigma, okay, if I say no to someone, so they I
Yes.
might not be talk to others. So,
Hmm.
how at that time one person feels like, look, this is something I am going through. So what they can do at that time?
Um, See, I think one important thing that they have to make a boundary. But everyone should learn this. I do not need to explain or justify for every no. If I really want to take rest, I will say that today I will take rest and I'm not going for the party or I'm not going for anything. So the first step is helping people to understand that people pleasing, it's not a kind of personality flaw. Because many people think this is a kind of personality we have. It is kind of a usually it's a coping mechanism. So many people, have spent years believing that their worth depends on keeping everyone happy. I see a lot of people that like they think that it's my duty for to everyone like make happy. So healing I will say starts with the self-awareness. It's not about the self-blame first. And we should also encourage some small boundaries, setting it without expecting all the drastic changes overnight. For example, you can say like, I need time to think for this. Or you are not replying immediately to anything, but first make sure that you are okay with that. Taking rest without any guilt. If you really want to take rest, say no, even to your family members. Or you can express a different opinion respectfully. Like small step, slowly teach, I will say, your nervous system that setting boundaries are safe. And honestly, families, communities, workplaces also play a role here. Like to stop glorifying self-sacrifice to the point where people lose themselves emotionally. So the goal is not to make someone rude or detached. The goal is to just help them to learn I can be kind to others without
Mhm,
abandoning myself. And
mhm.
I think that is where real emotional balance begins for every human being.
No, that's great. And as you mentioned about the boundaries, so now what is the one important boundary everyone should
Yes.
learn to set? You have given few examples. So a question
Yes.
to you
Yes.
for
Hmm.
culturally and first linguistic communities, multicultural communities, what can you suggest as a one main boundary what people can set in so that they are not having fear of losing any popularity or fear among themselves? Like if I say no to someone, so I will be in a bad book or I will not be treated as good.
I will say, like, sometimes a simple, like, let's say, I'm not available for that, or I need time is really enough. This is also a boundary. Boundary does not need a long apology that I am sorry for this, that I'm no, no, no. You just have a very simple thing. If you want rest, or if you want time, or if you want anything, just do that. People who constantly over explain, they are
Mhm.
often trying to earn permission to protect themselves. I think our needs are valid even without excessive justification. Like, let's say, I will say, like, I will give you some examples that every day I see of people pleasing, like most people say yes to all the work or responsibilities even when they are exhausted, just because they don't want anyone to feel bad. You can make the boundary. You can divide the work. You can say that, sir or ma'am, I did this. Now it's your duty. Or many people, agree with people even when they have a different opinion, just only to avoid any conflict or rejection. They think that this is a part of a group. If I say no, then they will reject me. So
Yeah.
there you have to make a boundary when this is a running thought. Or when you are constantly apologizing for small things that are not even your fault. This is kind of you are doing towards, the people pleasing. Or if you're feeling guilty for resting or taking care of yourself. Or I see a lot of people, they overthink messages. Like if anyone does not reply to them, they like, did I upset them? Or what if they are angry
Yeah.
with me? Like this is a kind of overthinking messages they have. Or let's say like canceling. I see a lot of clients as well. They are canceling their own plans to make others happy. This is all about the people pleasing. So you need to make a boundary first. And like people pleasing, it often look kindness from the outside. Many people will compliment you, oh, you are such a nice person, you always adjust. But I will tell you, inside the person, they may be struggling with fear, guilt, anxiety, and emotional exhaustion. So a people pleaser may say it's okay, I am fine. But even when they are deeply hurt, because they are more afraid of disappointing others and expressing their own needs.
So thanks, Kushi. So viewers, listeners, I think we have a worth of talk with Khushi in this episode. Keep watching, keep listening, and in next episode we will bring something new, which will be helpful for you and others. Spread along the word, like, subscribe, share, and so that this information is shared universally and it might be helpful for someone. Thank you, Kushi, once again for giving your valuable time and great discussion about this particular topic what we
Yeah.
had today. Wish you all the best and see you in the next episode. Take care of yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so. Take care. Thank you. Bye bye.